live. You ever seen that clip?
No.
Uh, It's Bill O'Reilly, and he's caught on like hot mic. I think the teleprompter's broken or something, and they're like trying to figure it out, but they're like about to go live. He's just like, "We'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live." And the show starts, and he's just like, "All right, everybody, like, welcome back." It's funny.
Sorry, I just realized I got to write out an email for that sports business class.
Let's run this. Finish up this form for work anyway.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Um, Sorry, I just got I got the thumbnail from Lambo. He did a his bang up job here. So
I saw that on our email.
was that the? Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, why is it open? I know it's normally never open. He just checked it
Oh
out.
yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just about to send it again because I didn't realize. Um, all right, I figure we can just do like just a little conversation at the end about best foods for Thanksgiving. We don't need to do like a top five or
Yeah,
anything.
that's fine. I think we do the top five every year, and I don't think it really changes.
Agreed.
You talk about the cranberry sauce, how it's better in the can.
Yeah.
Talk about how stuffing is the best. You traveling anywhere for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'm going up to Washington to see Jack.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that twice, I think.
That's all right.
Is the game Friday or Saturday?
Saturday, and it's Oregon, Washington. I guess the Apple Cup
Oh.
already happened, the Apple Bowl, whatever they call it.
Oh yeah, because they're not in the same conference.
Yeah, I think that happened at the bit. I
Big
guess
Benji.
my brother said it happened at the beginning of the year.
Uh, oh, that'll be even cooler then to see Oregon.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Oregon.
I think that's a pretty intense rivalry, actually. I do not think I have a coworker who's an Oregon fan. He does not like Washington.
It's so funny because I guess it's just such like a other side of the country issue. It's like I never think of
Right.
Washington. I never really think of Oregon either,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I know
Um,
what goes on out there.
are you traveling?
Not Thanksgiving. The next day we're going up to Avery's folks, but just for the day. Traveling for Christmas.
It's cool. Ethan already said, "Please bring up Joe Burrow's obsession with the Ravens and coming back to a Bengals team that is entirely out of contention to play Baltimore prime time." I don't think are they completely out? They're not eliminated. Only the Giants are eliminated.
They're probably mathematically alive.
Yeah, but struggling
Um,
on their last legs.
yeah.
Yeah, we can bring that up, Ethan. We'll get to them. If you haven't figured it out, Ethan, we're not technically started yet. Why does it say offline on
This
Restream,
is
but on
probably
YouTube it sounds fine? There we go. All right.
our volume is off, you said? Or
No, 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 no. The on the Restream app or website that I look at, it said we weren't live, even though the YouTube said that we were live, and Ethan was commenting, so I was just
oh,
wondering what was going on. But
okay.
now it says we're good. All right,
Cool.
let's get started in three. Oh, you're good, right? You don't have to finish up anything.
I'm hitting send right now. So I'm good.
All right, let's get started in three, two, and one. Hello and welcome. It's the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
I don't know if we ever done a Monday, Chris. When was the last time we did a
I'm sure we
Monday
have
episode? Yeah.
over the span of 7 years, but I could not tell you when the last time it was.
Yeah, neither could I. So we're doing a Monday because Thanksgiving week, clearly. I gotta travel tomorrow, so it's now or never. And we're gonna break down last week. We'll give a couple picks for Thursday's games. Maybe if we like something in the something we super like. And then we'll give out wise picks for the weekend, just separately. We still have an active wise pick going on. You have regressed to the mean of, or regressed to the
A market
yeah,
correction
there
is
you
what I
go.
said as
Yeah,
we were chatting
yeah, a
before
market
going live.
correction. I'm
It's
one
been
and
too
one,
hot.
so we need some points tonight. So we can go 2 and 4 is okay. We know 1 and 5 is it's a little rough. So we need some points tonight, big time. I also need CMC points to beat you in a must-win fantasy game. Maybe not must-win.
Must win on
We're
both
both
sides, right?
yes,
It's
yeah,
certainly
it's
must
pretty
win for
close.
me.
Yeah, it's must-win for you. I mean, we're both. If you win, we both go to 500. Um, so that's kind of where we're at, and we're both kind of fighting for the same playoff spot. So it should be an interesting game for that. Um, let's just get right into our picks. Should we start off with the lone winner that we have right now, or go through the
Go for
sludge
it.
first? Um, this one we honestly could talk about pretty quickly because the Cleveland Browns really put a beating on the Las Vegas Raiders. I can't imagine what Raiders game looks like without a 6-point spread from the other team going forward. Like, what is the team? What, maybe the Titans? But they already played the Titans. They don't play them again. Um, it is.
Are you saying hypothetical or who's like actually left on their schedule? Because I think the
I just mean
Saints
like
they could
who's
be
actually
within a couple
left.
points of who's actually left.
They have the
I have
Giants
to
at
look.
home, so maybe it's a 4, maybe a 2.5 Giants. Maybe it could be worse. I mean, the Giants are terrible too, but long story
Yeah,
short,
but
the
the
Raiders
Giants
are
are playing
abysmal.
teams well. I don't know. Hypothetical game is not worth it, I don't think, in this scenario.
No,
They're awful. They're awful.
they suck. Geno Smith got sacked 10 times. Miles Garrett he has 18 sacks in 11 weeks or 12. Yeah, 11 weeks. He had a bye week. And he is destined, as long as he doesn't get injured, which nobody wants to see, he's destined to break the sack record. I mean, he only needs 6 more. And that guy's a monster. It was funny to see him so giddy when Shedeur Sanders actually threw a deep
Their
ball and it was
best.
completed.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, Shedeur Sanders is clearly the story going into this game and the one leaving it. We talked about 0-17 were the Browns starting quarterbacks for their first start for the Browns. Um, and now Shedeur Sanders makes it 1-17. The I I loved watching him. It was fun. I thought that he brings some aura, he brings some swagger, and he played pretty well. So, he did miss 9 of his passes, but it wasn't any like he's a rookie. He said it himself after the game. This was only with 1 week practice. What happens with the whole off season? It's gonna get dangerous. Which
Did he not get he didn't get any first team reps at all? Going back to the offseason?
no, I don't think so. Remember, he was always like Brown, like he was like depth chart number like
Yeah,
4 or 3 every time.
that was
Um.
sarcasm.
Oh, okay. All right, my
That
bad.
was
I fell right for that sarcasm. The um, sorry, but he looked good. He did have a big screen pass which counted for one of his touchdowns. But we've seen Dylan Gabriel mess up on screen passes in the same system. So there's competency in the Browns quarterback. Like the defense is so good, you just have a little bit of competency, and all of a sudden they can win some football games. I know it was against the shitty Raiders. I mean, I think I can't believe the Pats lost this team. It was week 1, but just awful, awful team for the Raiders. And yeah, I mean, their defense is fun. If Shedeur Sanders can keep going, they'll be a fun team to watch the rest of the season. Um, I'm glad that they're not going back to Dylan Gabriel. I'm glad that Kevin Stefanski announced it. They the post game speech for the other thing I have is like the post game speech for Stefanski talking about like, oh, this defense was great, the running game was great, and he just goes, yeah, Shedeur Sanders, he played okay too. It's like, all right, I like there. It seems like there's so much. Like they were on the 1 yard line. Shedeur Sanders throws a 50-yard bomb, and they put in Wildcat, and they have Judkins go into the end zone. Clearly, it was almost like a force of hand for Kevin Stefanski, which I don't understand. But the with a win, with breaking that awful Cleveland record, how could you go back to someone else? You have to let him out, let him ride it out until he starts losing or he starts looking terrible. And I'm just glad this is all like kind of put to bed on almost. Like we've had this whole season talking about Shedeur Sanders, what's he gonna look like if he starts, and he finally got the opportunity. He made the most of it against the Raiders, and hopefully we get to see him the rest of the way. Who do they have? I don't know who they have next, but um, they're the 49ers. So we'll see tonight how banged up that defense is, how easy it is to throw against that defense. But I do think, I mean, Miles Garrett's going to be able to get at Brock Purdy, and then they play the Titans, um, and then they have some good teams at the end. But we should see a couple competent starts here for Shedeur Sanders, and I'm just happy for him. I feel like it is he kind of got like whatever happened in those pre-game or pre-draft interviews clearly did not help him, but I feel like he still got the short end of the stick. He still got kind of shafted. So it is nice to see him out there. And hopefully makes a lot of teams regret. Like the Raiders could have had him a million times. The Vikings could have had him a million times. Um, it's good to see a story. I always like rooting for the guy that everybody hates. And for a guy, especially with not a lot of reason for all the hate, it's good to see him come out with a dub.
Yeah, I mean, it did work out for him pretty well that they got the Raiders in his first start.
Hmm.
Um, like drawing the Ravens, getting thrown into that game is not a great first game, but his first official start being against the Raiders is a pretty sweet deal. I did forget how like ugly his throwing motion is. So that was kind of hard to watch. But like he honestly feels like he's a very similar like their offense it feels like functions very similarly going from Gabriel to him like it doesn't feel that much different except there's the chance for like a couple explosive plays in the game where it felt like that was almost never possible with Gabriel.
Yeah, and I
And
think
like that the one throw to Bond too like watching him roll out of that broken pocket and just like launch the ball down the field. That felt like you were watching him in Colorado.
yes.
Like he was off schedule so much at Colorado. Their line was so bad, but he had awesome weapons. And it's almost like that's where he was comfortable. Whereas like everything else was like checked down. He had, the big touchdown was a screen pass. He had several just dump offs to Fannin, and it was like everything was just first read. If it's not there, we're dumping it off. And then he gets off schedule that one play, and it's like okay, he can make plays. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how he looks once he puts a couple weeks of tape together. But you can't walk out of that being anything but encouraged. I guess. I mean, you won the game first of all. Like he had the one bad interception, um, and obviously didn't do anything crazy. Like other than that one throw that was pretty awesome. But I think you walk out of that as a Brown, especially as a Browns fan, like feeling pretty good about him, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, they haven't had a 50-yard pass since 2023. So having this like that's why Miles Garrett was so giddy and excited afterwards. Like that's he hasn't seen this on his team in forever. And I like what I was going to mention that 50-yard pass was off script because it was almost like he had to break out of what the game plan was. Like the game plan was clearly, as you said, first read and then check down to whoever's open. And it almost like he had to break out of it and be like, all right, well, I can do this going forward and in future games. Let me just get this. Let me just rip this one. Let me just rip this one. And the bond was wide open. Um, they have an incredible rookie class. There's I don't I believe I looked at it today and there's not one player that hasn't contributed in this win or in this season. And they had 100% of passing yards from a rookie, obviously. 100% of the rushing yards were from rookies, besides -3 yards and -6 yards from two guys that aren't rookies. And then 75% of the receiving yards were from rookies. So they got a good class. They kind of like not I don't know if they lucked out or just savvy signing with the Isaiah Bond, a great college player, ended up going undrafted. Works out for them. Dylan Sampson clearly is a good receiver. They utilized him more than I expected in the run game as well. So you have two rookie running backs that can help you out. You have the rookie quarterback, and they're just in a good spot.
They're ready to go back there. Those dogs. It's funny, like Dylan Sampson, he had that big on the YouTube stream. You can see Brady wrangling the dogs. But it's funny, like the Dylan Sampson broke out week one when Judkins was still out. And he had like 10 catches or something ridiculous with Flacco
Hmm.
uh, dumping off the ball to him, and then he just kind of fell off the face of the earth. And now it's like later in the season, like okay, we now are seeing this again from Dylan Sampson. Like maybe he could be an explosive piece for them. Obviously not going to be their bell cow. Like I think they're pretty confident that they have that with Judkins. But if you drafted two starting running backs this year in the draft, they got made fun of a lot for how they drafted positionally, but you got your almost like your thunder and lightning with those two guys. Um, yeah, I think they're in an okay situation as far as their offensive weapons. They'll probably bottom third of the league, but it's not completely barren. And having that much skill at the running back position is going to help out Shedeur. That takes a lot of pressure off.
And they got Fannin in the draft as well, which they love. It is it's just a lot more like when you talk about the Cleveland Browns, like this is just as hopeful as it could get. And as hopeful as of a season that you can get in a long time, it feels like, where even when they have number one picks and like they like I don't know, even with Baker, it's not like they had six rookies that were with Baker that were like, wow, they can all grow together. And so when you have pieces in line, you get some offensive linemen next season, maybe a couple more wide receivers, and and then hopefully you just they should just run it back with Shadur. Maybe draft a quarterback late in the draft if someone falls, like maybe a Drew Aller if he falls late, try to get some upside, and just ride it out with Shadur. So great win for the Browns. Hopeful for the rest of the season. And again, their defense is so good that they just need some sort of competence in offense, and they can sneak out wins against teams that they shouldn't be winning against. So, which they already have done
Yeah,
twice this season.
almost beat the Ravens last week.
Yep.
Yeah, beat the Packers.
Oh, Ethan asked if we saw the drama about Savansky not giving enough post game credits to Shadur. Yeah, no, he barely said anything about Shadur, not at all. All right.
You think he's just playing into the bit at that point?
I don't know. That would be nice. The GM afterwards, I saw in the locker room, like the GM gave him a big old hug. So that was good. Like
Wow.
somebody in the organization's got to give him something. All right, let's
Last thing I'll say, that the Jerry Judy fumble was hilarious. That was
that
like
was a
a laugh
that was
moment when he like did like the little hop step and the ball
it just
punched
like
out from
flew
behind.
out. Yeah,
Very funny.
that was great. Um, let's start now that we got the win out of the way. We'll just start canonically, I guess. So we'll have the Titans Seahawks, which of course the Titans come out of half. It's looking pretty exactly what you said. Like it's 30-0. You said it on the pod like the Seahawks could win 40-0 and you win. Um, so it's like looking perfect. And then the Titans just they woke up. They had some offense. Um,
When every under I take, there has to be a punt or kick return for a touchdown, right?
yes, yes, every
That's
time.
just like it's how good. As soon as that like it was already looking bad, and then that happened.
Yeah, it does seem like every time there's a fumble at the goal line or there's a kick return touchdown, sometimes both, like in the Jaguars Texans game. It was cool to see, there hasn't been a lot of positives with the Tennessee Titans, so it was cool to see some sort of positives leaving this game.
They had life.
Yeah, they did have some life. Cam Ward looked why he was the number one pick. Even on the ground, got a little bit of rushing, got a rushing touchdown. Um, the Seahawks, I mean, it looked like the final score looks like they could have blown this game. They really couldn't have blown this game. I mean, they got the last 7 points to Titans with 40 seconds left. So
So it was like a foot off the gas type of
yes,
game.
yep. And Jackson Smith-Njigba just 8 catches, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he's statistically this season the best wide receiver in the NFL, and looks the part too.
I test too, yeah. I
Yeah.
think. And it like it's this year's version of like F it, so and so is down there somewhere.
Yep.
Like the way that Darnold just uncorks it to hit like anytime he's in a one on one, the
Yes.
ball just can get launched 50 yards downfield and he's gonna make a play on it.
1,000%.
No, like
And
nobody can cover him.
oh no, not at all. I do. I kind of am starting to appreciate the bit of if you have Zach Charbonnet or Walker in fantasy football, go F yourself. Like that's the bit that the Seahawks have been playing all year. And they continue to do it. Um, so Walker has a great game, receiving and rushing, and then Zach Charbonnet gets a touchdown. It's a tale as old as time for the 2025 season, and it just got like I have Walker in one league. I had both of them in one league, and then I traded away Walker and kept Charbonnet. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating to have to deal with. But I suck in that league anyway, so I guess I don't really care that much.
Imagine if one of them got all the carries.
I know.
They'd be
Like
a
wouldn't
top
they be?
running back.
But like both of them would be extremely good.
That's what I'm saying. Either one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's what is that? An abundance of riches or something? What's the saying? I think it's abundance of riches, but they have they just have It's
I
just
say
too good.
preponderance, but that's definitely not the word.
They like Sam Darnold
Embarrassment
played.
of riches.
Sorry, what?
An embarrassment of riches.
Embarrassment of riches. There
That
we
was
go. Yeah. And it's crazy how much of a one man offense this is with Jackson Smith and Jigba. It's like, all right, he got half the catches or half the completions that Sam Darnold had. The other guys, it's just to kick like, oh, if we need a first down here and they're triple covering him, we'll dump it off to this guy. Um, and it's an exciting offense. The defense, as you said, I think they just kind of let up the gas in the second half. But I guess some life for the Tennessee Titans. I guess that's a good sign.
He kept it closer than you're supposed to.
Yes, much
Like
closer.
they didn't just lay down and die after going down big. Wasn't it like it was like 23-3, right?
Yes. Yep.
So I guess that's a positive, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you
You
want to
fight.
leave out of here with a couple Cam Ward highlights, with a couple moments that we remember from Cam Ward. So
Yeah.
I think that does it. And yeah, that's really all I can talk. Like I didn't. It's funny. I didn't watch too much of this game until the Titans were. It was 17-30, and it was like, all right, maybe they could do something.
Mm.
Um. All right. Let's keep it going. What is the? Sorry, I'm losing my spreadsheet. I guess the next one is the Lions. Yeah, the Lions is the next one. This
I
was
got
just
I owe
like
Jameis an apology, I think.
it was just well, and this was like
I was
for
ready to just be like, it's Jameis on the road. Like, I know that everybody loves Jameis, but he can't play two good games in a row. And like the Lions coming off a loss, going into that building, and it's just a bad situation. Wrong. I was wrong. He
this
looked
was
awesome.
this was one of the
We're so
picks.
fun.
It was about 115, 120, and it was like, oh, this pick might be out the window.
Well, they connected on the flea flicker, and I was like, that's cute. Like they can score on the first drive. That's fine. And then you're right. Like we get to the end of the first quarter, and the Lions aren't up 14-7. Like, I don't love this.
This was such a great. I mean, this was a great game. This is what you want in an NFL football game, honestly. Um, two offenses going back and forth, a couple interceptions, um, a couple tricky plays. The Jameis Winston receiving touchdown was incredible. That Lions defender should retire for letting that happen. I mean, he got juked out
It really
for the
was hard to
catch.
believe.
He got juked out for the catch and then stiff armed on his way to the end zone. Um,
Yeah.
that was one of those plays. It was like, oh, they're trying this, and then I was like, oh, Gunner's just he's gonna have to run forward. Like there's nowhere to go, and
Hmm.
then just Jameis just like gets around that cornerback, and you're like, oh shit, there he is, and they throw it right to Jameis, and that
If
was
you
one of
saw
those
that
plays.
clip and didn't know who was playing, like you wouldn't have thought you would have thought that was a receiver.
Yeah, he looked like a tight end out there. Like he looked like a
It's
tight
good.
end, and he's the funniest quarterback in the NFL by far. The most fun to watch quarterback maybe in the NFL, besides like a good Patrick Mahomes game. I would think that's pretty fun. But that's not fun for people though. That's just good football. This is just fun for everybody. There's nobody out there, even with the Giants losing and throwing the interception, going for it on fourth down. Nobody's like, I don't think any Giants fans are upset. Malik Neighbors was upset. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
He had a tweet.
On the sideline or
No, no, he
oh,
had a tweet, and he was like, and he deleted the tweet, but he was like, I I think they want us to lose at some point because like why are we throwing it when you should have been running it to decrease time and then you go for it on 4th and 6 instead of taking the points and being up 6 in regulation, and then he deleted the tweet. Which
so
if you're
I
two and
have
nine,
I
you put the game away, right?
go ahead.
I was just gonna say if you're 2 and 9, you put the game away at the end
By what?
by
By
going for it
going
on
for
fourth
it?
down. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say is I actually do not hate that decision,
No.
especially considering how awful your defense has been in like must stop situations
Mhm.
all damn season. Like to go from a one score game to a one score game, how much time was left? Like
I
it's not like
can't
if
tell
it
you.
was like
Let me look.
30 seconds, it would be way different. But
There
I think there was
was
like enough time where they could have gone down and scored a touchdown. Very
Yeah, they kicked the
realistically.
field goal with 28 seconds left, but I'm guessing it was over a minute.
So I personally did not hate that because you go up 10 and the game's over.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. And if you go up 6, as you said, your defense could let it up, you lose in regulation. This is going to sound a little stupid, but this almost gives the Lions an opportunity to tie it up and kick a field goal, and then you're in overtime. When you're up by 6, they have to get a touchdown. Then they get the extra point, and like it almost relieves the pressure from the Lions, so they almost like you know what I'm saying here? Does that make sense?
Say it again.
Like when you kick that field goal and you're up 6 with a minute left, the pressure is on the Lions to get a touchdown no matter what. But when you go for it on
When you
fourth down and
lose,
then it's 3,
they score a touchdown.
yes, you lose if they score a touchdown no matter
Yes.
what. So at least there's like incentive for them to kick a field goal and go to overtime instead of they're forced
Yeah,
to get a touchdown.
you're encouraging them to play conservatively. To just
Yes,
go tie the game.
correct.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. There were 3 minutes left in the game when they did that.
Yeah, so that's plenty of time to get a touchdown. And they, of course, in overtime, I mean, first play of the game, runs it down for a touchdown for 69 yards. Gibbs had, I think, 55
Which was also
points,
the
50
least
points.
surprising thing.
Yes, it was. It was. It was the least surprising thing ever. And
52 fantasy points. I think that's what you're saying
yes,
there.
yeah, incredible day for Gibbs. 200. I think he had 209 yards, and sorry, I'm looking at it now. 219. My bad, and 2 touchdowns off 15 carries. Uh, quite an incredible stat line there by Gibbs.
That that run is going to cost me a top 5 pick in our dynasty draft
Oh, because of
for
Matt.
what it's worth. That's going to win his game this week in a game he probably should have lost, and he's going to make the playoffs.
Brutal. Just brutal.
So,
Well, yeah, Gibbs
yeah.
also had 11 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown. So 3 touchdowns, almost, I mean, well over 250 yards and on 26 touches. That's quite impressive. Amon-Ra also had a great game. 9 catches, 49 yards. As you said, this defense for the Giants was getting shredded, like especially in the second half, was getting shredded um, the whole game. So it was bound to they were bound to let up a touchdown if they did kick that field goal. But
And they
if
fixed the
you're the
problem. They fired Ballard.
yes, yes they did. And if you're the Giants, what's your incentive to win these games anyways? You know you have your guy.
That's what I'm like. As a Giants fan, I feel like that's kind of the best case scenario is you just
Yes.
play these competitive games and then lose heartbreakingly at the end.
Yeah, you just
Like,
like and then
obviously, in
you
the moment, you want to win, but looking back, you're like, I mean, if we won the Broncos and the Lions game, like, we have a better draft pick, but it doesn't help us at all this year. And like, we
yes.
can still say that we played them down to the wire. So I don't know. I guess because they don't need the quarterback,
Yes.
you wouldn't mind like at some point they need to win a couple games, but like
But
you wouldn't
especially
want
if
to
the
finish
quarterback's not playing.
7-10. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't let Jameis sneak out a couple wins. Like of course
I mean,
every
that like remember the DeVito games
yes, costed
that
them
like
Drake
lost
May
them?
and Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I say Jay Daniels, but yeah.
Biased. Um, and this is the 5th game of the season that they had a 10-point lead and lost. So like maybe if you won 4 of
That's
them, you'd want to
absurd.
win this game. But
That is so crazy.
it's a bad stat. It's a really bad stat.
That's so...
Um, so
How many teams have fired their head coach and then fired a coordinator a couple weeks later? I feel
I've
like
never
it's
seen it.
always the coordinator goes first,
Well, I always
and
like,
then
or
like
it's
if
like
they
at the same
kill it
time.
fully. Right? Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if
that's
I've ever
funny.
seen that before. It's definitely a new one. But
Yeah,
they I guess we play them Monday. So a week from today.
it'd be
That'll
fun.
be yeah, it should be interesting. I'm kind of worried about their D line. Anyways, we'll talk about the Pats later. The I guess we'll talk about the Pats right now because that is
I was gonna say next game, right?
fanatically where we're at. Yeah. Pats -6.5 was my pick. They of course won by 6. This was a very sloppy Patriots game. Drake May looked bad in the first half or first quarter. He just looked uncomfortable. It looked like they were getting some pressure onto him, missing some throws that he normally makes. Had a really bad pick six, which wasn't fun. Then Joe Flacco gave an even worse one right back. They started cooking with Hunter Henry over the middle, which I think we mentioned, especially I think it was week 1, we mentioned the Bengals against tight ends. And in our fantasy matchup aforementioned, I left Hunter Henry on the bench, who has 24 points, and I put in Goddard, who I think had 2.4 points. So 10 times the points there by Mr. Hunter Henry. The real problem with this game was the goal line. They had 12 attempts on the goal line. They got 3 points out of those 12 attempts. It was brutally bad. Something you'd see out of the Russell Wilson Giants. And it was just, and it wasn't even, but it wasn't like, that's a joke, but it wasn't like Drake May was throwing it at the goal line. They just kept running into nobody. They can't figure out how to QB sneak with Drake May. He needs to go to Tom Brady school of old school QB sneaks, not this tush push stuff.
Not
And
the push. Yeah.
no, because they can't do it. I don't know why. He's been awful at QB sneaks all year. And I think they gave, so Henderson, it's like 2nd and 10 on like the 12-yard line. Henderson gets him to the 1-yard line, 1st and goal. Henderson doesn't see another carry the rest of the series. And they gave it to Ramondre twice, he gets stuffed. They gave it to Terrell Jennings, who got stuffed. There wasn't one look at, like, last or a couple weeks ago versus the Buccaneers, they were on the goal line and they threw it to Diggs on that 4th and goal right at the end of the half. And Diggs got wide open and it was a perfect toe tap, and Drake May placed it perfectly. Not one look at Diggs. I mean, a couple looks to Booty that became pass interference, and then still, like, they're in the half-yard line and they still couldn't get anywhere. So that was frustrating. You could tell Vrabel was frustrated by it. And then we went for it on one of those, the first one on the 4th and goal. We let it go, and then we immediately let Chase Brown rush for 12 yards. So it's like, all right, well, that was pointless. We should have just taken 3 at that point. It was scary. I was scared at the end. I was nervous about Joe Flacco somehow. Like the Tinsley touchdown in the 4th quarter, it was right on top of Christian Gonzalez. That was like the first time in a long time I've ever seen Christian Gonzalez just get absolutely smashed by a wide receiver. And I mentioned Michael Tinsley because that's who they were throwing to at the end of the game. All of their wide receivers were out.
That also preseason catch.
Yes, he did have that
Remember.
awesome preseason catch. I do remember that.
Former Commander,
Yeah.
for what it's worth.
And yeah, it was like right on top of Christian Gonzalez. So like the last drive, I was like, well, if he's gonna like if he's burning Christian Gonzalez, like I'm petrified. I'm really nervous. And luckily the defense stood. They held up. There's a bunch of injuries on the O-line. We had Morgan Moses out first series. We had Jared Wilson was out in the first series, which I think was part of the problem for Drake May. There was a lot more pressure than he's used to because Jared Wilson's been great out of Georgia. And then Will Campbell got hurt in the 3rd quarter. So that wasn't great. And both those rookies, Morgan Moses came back into the game. They said that was just an illness. But both the rookies, they might be out for multiple weeks here. And that's the whole left side of the line right now. And it's not looking great. We've been very lucky with injuries. We had Milton Williams go out last week, which I think helped the first over 50-yard, or actually the highest yard rusher of the season against the Pats. Chase Brown got 107 yards against us. I think that was a big part of it, Milton Williams not being there. And then on the offensive line side, I just mentioned the Giants D-line. I'm nervous. They're due. I will say the Pats are due for a game that they should not lose and will lose. And that scares me.
It's fair, but you've also won 9 in a row, and you've definitely have been due for one of those games at some point during this stretch. So
yeah, I think I've mentioned that they're
all
due
those wins, and yeah, I think we've definitely said it several times. And then you had the Bucks Falcons games back to back that you were nervous about. That you pulled out wins there, so even if they are due and lose one of these games, it would be loss number 3.
Yeah, no, I'm not it's not the end of the world. And I think that's why I keep saying it because it's like we have had this incredible season so far. We've had incredible luck with some of these games, and all like it's funny. All I want is to not match up against the Bills in the first round and to win a playoff game. Because I mean, I would love to beat the Bills, of course, in the playoffs, but that would be scary, especially if we beat them at home. Hard a team to beat a team 3 times, and they're just Josh Allen in the playoffs. Like they're due for a playoff run, and I would not want to see them in the playoffs. Um, but that's where I'm at here. Like there's a lot of people that are talking um, crazy scenarios with the Pats and calling them frauds, and like I don't think they're frauds just because I want them to win one playoff game and I'll be happy. Like I don't think that makes them frauds. So yeah. Anyways, Giants up next. They didn't cover, which is a shame. Drake May almost got to 300 yards, 294, highest passing of his career so far. But um, yeah, no 300 yet.
Does that actually bother you?
No, no, it doesn't bother me. The discourse about it bothers me because there's so many other quarterbacks that are good now that haven't had 300 that didn't have 300-yard games for a while. And I don't know, he had a giant like if you count pass interference yards, he easily broke 300. I think he had like 60 yards on a pass interference. So that is I will say having Keyshawn Booty back, that is his secret weapon. Whether he can get a catch or not, he will get a pass interference streaking down the field. Um, and it happened twice on the same drive. That was one of the goal line that didn't count for anything, but it was it is fun seeing him back out there. I was glad he was back out there.
You can't let your Bills friends hear that little bit you not wanting to see them in the playoffs.
I've told him,
All right.
and it's honestly
So
it's because of them. It's because I don't want because if they do like we could sweep them in the regular season, and then if we play them in the playoffs and they win, it doesn't. The 2 wins in the regular season don't matter. It's like all of a sudden they get wiped off the board. So
the Phillies Braves seasons in a row, that was the situation. They beat us to Clemson, and then we beat them in the playoffs. Like all that was completely wiped out.
yeah, and then the season's over, and it's like, oh, congrats about your regular season wins that you were so excited about. So like I'd rather face I don't know really any other team because even though like of course barring the next Patriots Bills game December 14th, um, they like I shouldn't be afraid of them, but they've had some bad losses. But I don't know. I don't want to have them wipe away our good season that we haven't had in a while. That would be annoying.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thank you. Glad you agree. Um. All right, and then the Panthers 9. Oh no, we have Eagles. Eagles -3.
Eagles.
Yeah, they eggled it up, man. They eggled it up.
I will say, like, I can't say this because I made the pick and like I thought that they would just keep winning games that like are sloppy and everybody hates watching it. Um, but looking back, like the way that they were playing with fire every week, this was bound to happen at some point. And I tried to ride them too long.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Game where they just completely fall apart was definitely been because the first I was running around Sunday after coming back from my parents' house, so I missed like first quarter and a half probably. So when I turned the game on, it was nothing. Like I'm a genius. I'm just keep betting on the Eagles every week. These lines are ridiculous, and then it just slowly slips away. Yeah, 2 fumbles in the fourth quarter doesn't help. Yeah, I was bad.
It was very
I kind of wish I would have listened to some WIP today just to hear the reaction. But like you said it yesterday that like they remember that AJ Brown existed and then forgot about everybody else. Like not they can't have everybody involved in the same game.
No, they
AJ
can't.
Brown has a big game, then Jalen Hurts is going to look awful thrown to everybody else, and they're not going to be able to run the ball. And
It's
if they can
almost
run the
like
ball, they're not going to throw the ball for more than 100 yards.
it's almost like they have like the offense itself for the OC, Kevin Petula. It's almost like he has ADHD, where it's like he can only focus on one thing at a time. And when you focus on, and like when you have multiple things that you need to be focusing on, you just stop and do nothing, which I understand. I have a little bit of it, so it's like when you have a bunch of stuff to do, it's like, man, I don't know where to
Yeah, and
start.
then you just end up on Twitter
Yes, you just end up on Twitter, you take a
scrolling
nap.
the day away.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like that's what the Eagles did. It's like, all right, we're gonna focus solely on AJ Brown, and then they're up 21 points, and they're like, well, we need to run the ball, and they're like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do all of that at once. So I don't know how do you fix this? Maybe you give Tank Bigsby more carries because Saquon has been bad all year. He's been bad. He's had multiple bad games. He's had some good games, but he's had some multiple bad games. And when you get 200 yards, damn near 200 yards and a touchdown out of your top two wide receivers, and you're up 21-0 in the first half, you have to win those games. And the Eagles are the type of team, like this is almost like the Ravens. Well, I guess the opposite of the Ravens, because the Ravens get down and they don't know what to do. But they're, I guess, like almost like the Ravens versus the Bills in the week 1, where it's like all you got to do is just keep running the ball and just keep
Right.
running the ball, and you guys are the best at running the ball. You know how to run the ball. Don't fumble. And the Eagles couldn't do it. Um, the special teams coordinator, I think the OC should. I mean, he should have been fired. It seems like weeks ago. The OC with all their fourth quarter points. Shout out Mike. Mike said they have 13 fourth quarter points in the past 3 games, or not fourth quarter. Sorry, second half points. Yeah, yeah, because it was
What was the game before the Lions game?
the Packers where it was 0-0 at halftime and they won by 10.
That's right.
It was 10-3
That's
or
actually a
something.
hilarious stat considering the fact that they actually had 0 points in the first half of one of those games.
Yes. Yeah. Their offense is terrible. I mean, they kept winning games, so like I guess you don't have to make a change, but they need to make a change at OC. I don't know what you do though, because clearly the guys behind.
You do that when you're 8-3? Like, can you fire somebody? Like, I guess they did it without firing their coordinator, and he just took over. I don't think Sirianni would be interested in doing. Like they keep churning offensive coordinators, and like at no point they've had this happened before 2 years ago with Brian Johnson, where it was like
Yes.
this is all Brian Johnson's fault. They just look anemic offensively, and it kind of seemed like I don't want to overreact, but there's definitely a chance that this season turns into what happened 2 years ago. Like this is kind of exactly what happened actually.
Yeah, the
They
writing's on the wall.
kept winning these close games, and it was like matter. They're winning games, and then all of a sudden they have a bad loss. I don't know what it was that year that they kind of got the snowball rolling, but all of a sudden they lose 5 or 6, and then get their asses kicked in Tampa Bay in the playoffs, and everybody wants to fire Sirianni. So I don't know if I believe that'll happen. The Bears will definitely be a big test on Friday.
Yeah.
See if they can bounce back. The whole like AJ Brown situation doesn't help. Like he's got a new soundbite every week. It's this team is the Step Brothers meme where they're doing the interview at the sports store
With the
and Dale
tuxedos.
farts
Oh,
and he's like,
oh.
"All right, yeah, right now the tuxedo seems kind of fucked up." And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, now all these bad offensive stats, like now it's a problem. Now that we've lost a game here.
I'd agree. And I do there is some sense of like, of course the Eagles fans are getting um they're getting memories of the 2023 season. Even the 2022 season where they made it they were so dominant, but they made it to Super Bowl um and then fell flat offensively in that Super Bowl. Which I guess they had a Hail Mary to try to win it and they just couldn't do it. But they lose in that
In
Super Bowl.
22,
Wasn't that 22? 22 they made it to the Super Bowl?
yeah,
Yeah. Um So it's like you have all these memories of like bad offensive moments from these games, and it's yeah, it is. It's I would pump the brakes. I would pump the brakes. There's has to be
That's
film
what
to
I'm saying.
watch.
Like, I don't want to overreact. Definitely, like there are parallels, but it's also been a week.
Yes.
This is their first loss since that Broncos game, right?
Yep. And if they they have the Bears, the Chargers, and the Raiders. If they look inept against the Bears and the Chargers, then I think we can have the greater conversation about what the hell's going
Yep.
on.
So if they
And then
lose against the Bears, it's going to be full panic mode.
yes. Oh yeah. And I think even like I do to the point of the offensive struggles is that they have to look good in one of these games for a full 4 quarters. Like they haven't looked
Yes.
good for 4 quarters. Their defense has looked great for 4 quarters, but the offense needs to get going. Um, on the Dallas side, also special teams. Why is that guy doing a punt return or a kick return at the 1 yard line? What is going on?
I I could literally hear my dad from 15 miles away losing his mind about that. 'Cause I thought
Um,
that I was like, "Why are you catching the ball? Like, just let it out."
no, just let it bounce in the end zone.
He sticks it at the one, and like, your cap, but why? Would bother.
And then just gets completely laid out. Like he got flattened. And it's almost like it was karma. It's like, all right, well, if you're gonna take this out and try to get some extra yards,
Right,
then
yeah.
we're gonna flatten the hell out of you.
I feel like it's punt returns like that are so funny because it's like the longer this plays goes, the odds of him fumbling just increase exponentially.
Oh yeah.
Or zigzagging and like guys getting off their blocks flying into the play. Like the replay that they showed after where I don't know whatever special teamer on Dallas was that ended up punching the ball out, like literally gets pancaked twice
Gets back
as he's
up.
going down and then flies out because the punt return lasts for 20 seconds.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
because
that should be shown to like every returner coming out of college.
yep.
Like, do this. This is how you lose a lot of money in the NFL.
To your point, it started at the right side of the end zone. He zigzags to the middle and then does a couple jukes and zigzags to the left. All of a sudden, he's on the left side of the field, like completely. So he ran like 50 yards sideways instead of forward, and that's where I think the player's number was 38. Just comes in and just pops the shit out of him, and it was impressive. Um, Also on the Dallas side. Dak looks good. I mean, he's looked good all year. The Devontae Williams kept moving like he did in week 1. Um, George Pickens, nine catches out of 9 targets for him, 146 yards. CeeDee Lamb had a good game too. They have to find a way to re-sign Pickens. They have to.
They're too fun.
They are. They are too
They
fun.
really are.
And you have the 2 first round picks from the Micah thing. I guess yeah, they still have 2 because one of them went to the Jets, but
Well,
it's
they
the better
flipped
of the
one of them to the Jets.
yeah. Well, you have 2 this year though. That's 2027. You have 2. You have your
They
pick and an
traded
extra
for
pick.
27. Okay.
Yeah, and this team can really beat anybody. Like they're 5-5-1. They've had some bad losses. People started to count them out. It was pretty much done for them. And after this win, it seems like they could beat anybody in the NFL. And they just are just such an electric offense. And
Yep.
maybe you need the other team to be inept offensively and a couple fumbles to go your way, but you can keep up points wise with anybody in this league. And I mean, they're a lot of fun. They're a great offense. And that's really all I got for the Cowboys.
I do hate saying it, how much fun they are. They are. But they're also the like you kind of know how the season ends.
Oh yeah.
At least
Definitely.
they're like an enjoyable primetime team.
Yep.
They do get slaughtered in primetime all the time.
And it's funny that like
For some reason, against awful teams all year.
it's funny that in prime time we just mentioned that, and I just thought of the Cardinals game. That was like their worst showing. Was the Cardinals game.
Yes.
They do week 18. Hopefully, I don't know if it's better if it's a meaningless game, or I guess it's better if the Cowboys need to make the playoffs and then maybe the Giants could beat them. But week 18, Giants Cowboys, just for a week that's gonna have a lot of games that are pointless. That whether it's pointless or not, that'll be a fun game. Like that'll be one to have on the
Yes.
TV.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's probably pretty unlikely that Dallas is in position to make the playoffs. I mean, unless the Eagles totally crash and burn and they have a chance at the division, but with how stacked the NFC is right now, probably pretty
Yeah,
unlikely. But yes, that could be a ridiculous game.
yeah, they would need a couple Lions losses and the 49ers to fall off a cliff, and one of the Buccaneers and Panthers to. I mean, the Buccaneers and Panthers could both make the playoffs, but I guess they would probably eat each other out with the. Well, actually, that sounded wrong. They could probably
Whoa.
knock each other out the of the playoff picture with the division just swiping it up. Um, anywho, those were our wise picks
Apologies to
for
the
week 12.
children listening.
We have hopefully your child doesn't know what I'm talking about.
That's true. Yeah.
All we have left is Panthers 49ers 50 points. We already did the preview for it, so we're not going to do it again. By the time you're listening to this, it either hit or it didn't hit. So I'm guessing, I'm assuming. Let's go down the list here. Let's knock out a couple games that we can knock out it's only 2 games we can knock out pretty easily, which is the Falcons Saints. The Saints are terrible. Falcons, they got some motion here out of
It was
Kirk
nice to
Cousins.
see Kirk Cousins. That ball to Mooney was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Felt happy for him after all he's been through the last 2 years. I know people say like, oh, like, who cares this money, but I'm sure he still felt sad. After how
Yeah, it's
everything
good to
has
see
gone
him.
down.
Yeah, it's good to see him.
I also I kind of forgot how good Mooney was last year when Kirk was playing.
Oh yeah, Mooney was fantastic.
Like he was an every week starter in fantasy.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, now he might be on the waiver wire for some of your leagues.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Penix. It seemed like he could never get everyone going at once. Almost like the Eagles. We were talking about the Eagles. It's almost like he could only focus on 1 or 2 players at once. So yeah,
pretty much.
that was a bad showing by the Saints. Good for Atlanta, I guess. I mean, they're 4-7. There's no way they're keeping I guess they're keeping the NFC South alive if the guys they'd have to beat the Buccaneers, but they losing to the Panthers twice really kind of knocked them out of everything.
Yes.
All right. Then we can knock out the Vikings Packers, which was a sloppy game. I guess the only thing to talk about in this game is whether you want to hold out hope for JJ McCarthy or not. And frankly, I don't really care. That's kind of where I stand. I could care less.
It's hard to make an argument in his favor. I'll say that.
Yes. And I think that's why I really don't care. Because like you can point out all the wins that he had in college. You can point out how he's supposed to be playing, but he sucks.
I have Jordan in 2 fantasy leagues and Jefferson in another.
Oh, it's abysmal.
He's actively destroying my chances of winning games in those fantasy leagues. Jordan Addison had 1 target.
Yeah.
He's going for 100 yards with Wentz.
Yeah. I think we mentioned this, how bad you have to be at quarterback to make Justin Jefferson look average in fantasy football. And he's done it ever since he's come back. So that's kind of I think that's also why I don't care either. It's like just get someone to throw Justin Jefferson the ball. Because I have him in fantasy. But it's too late now. I'm out of the playoffs.
Maybe they could use his Heineke.
Well,
he would be a good Viking.
JJ McCarthy apparently has
a ton of guys.
He apparently has a concussion, and they have Matt Brosmer is their backup quarterback, let's get a dude out there. Let's get Desmond Ritter. Let's get Taylor Heineke. Let's get Tyler. No, not Tyler. Kyle Sloter. Let's get some let's get some men out there that we want to see. I mean, who wants to see this Matt? Maybe Matt Bronzer will win our hearts, and we'll love to see a Matt Bronzer game in the future. But I don't know, man. I want to see someone. I want to see someone fun. Like I don't want more shitty quarterbacks out there. Like give me someone fun. Where's the guy who played for the Niners and the Vikings? Who was
Mullins.
yeah, where's Nick Mullins at? What's
Mullins.
he doing? I don't know. And it's also like if the Raiders are gonna have Kenny Pickett and AOC on the bench, like can't share the wealth a little bit. You're gonna start Geno Smith and force us to watch Geno Smith every week, but we can't get to see one of these guys who will have some interest in. Which and it's funny because like those are bad quarterbacks, but at least they're funny quarterbacks. Like I know Gardner Minshew's on the Chiefs as a backup, and that's where he wants to be. But give me some Gardner Minshew. Give me something here. That's all I got.
Davis Mills be the starting quarterback for the Vikings next year.
He'd be a fantastic starting quarterback for the Vikings. I would trust Justin Jefferson with my life with Davis Mills. Yeah, I don't know. And it's like I haven't seen something like this in the NFL where a mistake of or a gamble. It wasn't a mistake because they knew what they were doing and it was purposeful. But a gamble of going with JJ McCarthy instead of Sam Darnold has bitten someone in the ass so fast. Like I've never seen it how fast it is just killed the Vikings. Like it is just like they have a good defense, they have a good offense, and their quarterback just sucks.
It is one of those situations where it's like I feel like the casual fan a lot of the time is going to blame the quarterback for a team's offense not looking good, and we're victims of it too. But this is one of those situations where it doesn't seem like there's really a good explanation for why they're so bad, other than the fact that he sucks.
Well, and like it's the thing with the offseason where they had Sam Howell, they traded him away, and then they got Carson Wentz, and then Carson Wentz he was out there with no elbow for 2 games because they didn't want to put JJ McCarthy back in. It's like if the coaching staff and the team is going to tell us that we don't want this guy playing, then why should we want to see this guy playing?
Yes, correct.
I did Ethan asked our fantasy football group chat, is the concussion another shadow benching here for JJ McCarthy? And at this point, I don't know what's the point of like their
He
season's
can only
done.
be out for so long with the concussion, though.
That's true. But if you're gonna shadow bench bad quarterback, you do it because you want to win and try to make the playoffs. Like they're done.
Or they're just sick of like playing. Like he
Yeah,
doesn't want to lose to the locker room.
yeah, maybe they're just sick of watching him.
I mean, also like they're grown men putting their bodies on the line every week. Like they don't want to keep playing for him.
That's true.
I'm assuming that's
Yeah, we're not.
That's the worst case scenario, I guess, is just keep putting him out there. Like that can happen.
That's true. It's true. Yeah, it's a bad situation here for JJ, but I feel like we already talked too much about that game. I mean, that game was over in the fourth quarter. They benched Jordan Love for Malik Willis. So I guess the other thing to mention is Emmanuel Wilson. I mean, when you can actually run the football, their offense looks much better.
Yeah.
And I think that was the key difference. I mean, Jordan Love he didn't have a good game. He didn't have a bad game though. He just had the run game to help him out. Yeah. Yeah, you make it easier for him. I think it's maybe we just learn that when you have Jordan Love do this superhero shit where he's throwing jump balls and playing Nukem over on the football field, that it's bad mojo, and it's bad for winning football.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when like you have an offense that's centered that much around running the ball, and then that gets taken away, you get the results that you've gotten the last feels like 6.
Agreed. But shout out Emmanuel Wilson. And that guy was undrafted on a practice squad last year, so good for him.
I picked him up in our league, so no one else could, and then didn't start him.
I did that in a different league. I didn't start him either, and he was just sitting on the bench with 26 points. And I was like, God damn it.
In all fairness, the only guy I would have started him over was ETN, I think. And ETN got like 20. Lose by 6. I don't feel bad, which is very possible.
I need to make sure Pearsall doesn't get any catches.
And last week, we had 1.
That would be a perfect stat line for me. Let's talk about Colts Chiefs. Talk about a collapse.
Yeah.
The Eagles collapse underrated this collapse, where in the fourth quarter and in overtime, the Colts had 4 3-and-outs. Didn't get any first downs.
Yep.
And that was really like we were waiting for the Mahomes game, the 1-point possession game where they come out on top, and the Colts almost gift wrapped them. Jesus Christ. They gave them the game. That's long stutter short. I gave them the game. And that's what happens. And we mentioned the Daniel Jones thing, mentioned that this is a playoff game, and he's gonna have moments like this, and you're gonna have to rely on Jonathan Taylor to get those first downs at the end. And I kind of want to say that's exactly what happened.
Well, but if you like their last 2 drives of the fourth quarter, they didn't run the ball once. Like back-to-back 3-and-outs, and they threw
That's what I'm
6
saying. Yeah,
passes.
and they didn't rely on Jonathan Taylor. You
Okay.
need to rely on Jonathan Taylor in those moments, and that's what they're gonna have to do in the playoffs when they make the playoffs, because they will, unless something insane happens like what was the Wentz Colts, was that 2021? Unless that happens,
The Jags game.
yeah, unless that happens, they're gonna make the playoffs and they're gonna be top
Certainly.
seed. And when they get into the playoffs, they're gonna have to realize that Daniel Jones is not their focal point of this offense. It is Jonathan Taylor. And even when the game gets tight and everyone gets nervous, where for some reason teams just don't want to run the ball when that happens, and you need to give Jonathan Taylor 25 carries. Like that's how you win a playoff game if you're the Colts. And that's how they've been playing all year long. They've been giving Jonathan Taylor 25 carries at least every game, at least 20. And then this game they give him 16. And he was bottled up more than other teams have stopped him. Like the Chiefs stopped him pretty well compared to every other team. But you just have to keep riding the horse. Like it's like what we talked about the Ravens. Like you got to keep just doing what you're good at and keep running the football. And that's what would concern me if I'm a Colts fan. And I mean, like they had at the beginning of the game, they had a pick that went to the 1-yard line, and they immediately get a touchdown with Michael Pittman. And then it seemed like we didn't see Michael. Like he had 5 catches, but it seemed like besides that touchdown catch, we didn't see him the rest of the game. Yeah, it was just sloppy at the end. And the Chiefs, I mean, they're regaining their black magic. If you're gonna give them an opportunity to drive down the field and send it to overtime and then win it in overtime, this is not the team to mess with. This is the team that's going to take that 10 times out of 10. And when they need to clutch up, they're going to clutch up. I mean, Kareem Hunt here is getting 3.5 yards per carry, and they're giving him 30 carries. 30 carries. Like they had a game plan going in, and they stuck by it. They also, now looking at it, like they had the ball a lot. They had the time. They doubled the time of possession, and I want to see how many plays they had. Total plays 91 to 50. 91 plays. That's disgusting. And I guess that's what happens when you go 3-and-out the last 4 drives of the game. So that's kind of
Well, and it's like they were able to move the ball in the first half and just like could not finish drives, which is very uncharacteristic of this Chiefs team. Where
the holding call or the face mask call.
Running. Yeah. But I think that one drive they ran like, I want to say it was 17 plays. I just had it up.
God, that's insanity.
It was the most plays run
Yeah, 17 plays for 64 yards, and they kicked a field goal.
That's embarrassing. I
I
mean,
think
that's
it
not.
was
That's
the
insane.
most plays that they've run on a drive with Mahomes that didn't result in a touchdown.
I
Might have been the most plays on any
It's
drive,
true.
actually, and it ended in a field goal. I think that's the stat. Don't
That's
quote me
crazy.
because didn't write it down.
We won't make a clip out of it because TikTok will
But yeah, that's
ridicule
right.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
TikTok will ridicule us.
right.
They this game also reminded me. I was like, shit, this Xavier Worthy kid is fantastic. Every time they need him,
Yeah.
and it's not like he's
Yep.
like he's a crosser. Like he's over the middle. He's not just like beating your guy one on one, which he can, but it's like he's over the middle, and then he's like snaking through the safeties, and all of a sudden it's 60 yards, and it's like holy crap. Um,
Yep.
8 catches for 141 yards. That's kind of I think that's what I thought Worthy was going to be at the beginning of the season, and why I loved him all over the place. And it was not a good result. Not the
Wait,
same
you talking
player.
about Rice?
I was saying that's what I thought Worthy was gonna be like when Rice was suspended, and it didn't turn out.
Yeah. But initially, were you talking about Rice?
Yes, yes. Initially, I was talking Rice.
Okay.
Sorry, I
Because
didn't mean
Worthy
to
did have that one big catch, and I thought I was agreeing with the point because it does feel like if they do need a big play, like it does show up. It just never fills up the stat sheet. Rice is turned into a true wide receiver one.
Yes. Yes, that was the main point at the beginning, but I agree with what you're saying with Rice too, where he can come up in clutch moments and he'll have a route where either everyone's focused on Rice or they're focused on Travis Kelce or all this other stuff, and all of a sudden he's over the middle for 31 yards or whatever, and he's like, oh wow, there's
Mhm.
Rice, but he's definitely not as
Worthy.
consistent as or you got me mixed up. Yes, Worthy, he's definitely all right. Settle down. Rashee Rice, consistent, fills up the stat sheet. Worthy can get you a good
Yes.
play in the clutch, and then you never see him again.
Yes.
But I did like this was the first week, and I guess a little bit of last week too, where I was just watching the Chiefs and I was like, man, maybe Matt Byers knew what he was doing with the Rashee Rice pick.
I've had a couple of those moments, and they're scary.
He was texting me about Matt being right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Puka
found some
thing in
people.
our redraft league doesn't make any sense.
What'd you say? What?
They traded Puka for Barkley
Oh yeah, I
in our
hated that.
redraft league. That didn't make any
I
sense.
hated
Yeah.
that. He was texting me. He's a Chiefs fan. We've had him on the pod. Um, he was texting me about the Chiefs after the game, and he was like mad. I was like, dude, why are you mad? Like, don't be mad. You can't be mad after a win. Like they looked good, and they
Especially
ended
when
up
you're
winning it.
5-5.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like a must-win game. Like this was absolutely a must-win game
Yeah.
against one of the best teams in the AFC. For half of the season so far, they've been the number one team in the AFC. So it's like, come on, come on. He was mad about Kareem Hunt
It's not as
specifically.
bad as. Did you see the tweet from the one Eagles fan that was like, the worst thing about this is they're probably going to win the Super Bowl, and then we're going to have to watch this offense again next year because they won't make any changes.
Dude, Eagles fans are so. Well, we should have talked about it with the Eagles. They're so
What?
pretentious. It's like, dude, oh my god. Like all they do is bitch and moan, and they're 8-3.
We just quote tweeted and was like, the worst thing is that we're going to win the Super Bowl.
I know.
Gosh, you guys have no idea.
They could win the Super Bowl by
I don't
like
think.
1 point, and they'd be pissed. They'd be livid.
Yeah, it's 95% of Eagles fans are normal, I think.
Yeah, it's the
It's
loudest
that
one.
5%
They're
that's
Philly. They're
like,
Philly.
yeah,
They're loud,
right.
so it's like they're louder
Yeah,
than
right.
everybody else. Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with that. Most of the Philly fans are and
They're just diehard sports fans, but the people on Twitter are the worst humans ever.
I just think I mean, I'm on Twitter all the time, so I think I'm allowed to say this. I think just the people on Twitter are the worst people that you could possibly meet.
Yes, that's
I
true.
imagine.
For every fan base, they're the worst.
anything imaginable, anything. Um,
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't realize we're already an hour in. We're gonna have to run through these. Um, we'll talk about the Ravens.
What else do we have?
The Ravens struggled
Yeah,
for this game. The final score is
something
not
off.
dictating, especially because the Jets made it all the way down to the red zone, basically like the 5-yard line, and then Brees Hall fumbled. So that was sad. And Tyrod, I mean, talk about the Jets again, man. They're wide receivers. They're fun. They have fun wide receivers. They just need a quarterback. Uh, there's just something up though with the Ravens. I mean, Derrick Henry got 2 touchdowns. They they really were pretty offensively inept all game.
Yeah,
That's kind
there's.
of what I got.
I don't know how much I want to overreact to the Ravens because they're still in a good spot and they've won 5 in a row now,
Yes.
and the
Yeah, they're
Steelers
leading the division
lost
now.
again, so
Yeah.
they're not right. They will split those Pittsburgh games, by the way.
They still have to play both of them.
Almost guaranteed.
Yeah, they do.
So right.
Yeah, they do.
But they have now won, 5 games in a row, 3 one-score games in a row against or I guess this wasn't a one-score game. It basically was.
It should have been a
They
one-score
beat the
game.
Browns by a touchdown, the Vikings by a touchdown. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this offense. Like maybe it's just one of those years where not everything clicks, and the quarterback was out for several weeks, so that doesn't help. But
It does seem like Lamar's hurt. Like it seems like he's not 100%.
yeah, it does.
And I don't know. At some point, maybe they should like go get a wide receiver that people can trust. Is that crazy? Like, how many times are we gonna do this Isaiah
trust
Likely
Zay
saga
Flowers?
dance? No, I don't trust Zay Flowers. I don't. And even if I did, I'd trust him as a slot receiver. I don't trust him to go get a go
Yeah.
ball. I don't know. They always have they have Henry, and Henry's fantastic with Lamar. It really changes the whole offense. But if Lamar can't move like he normally does, it's almost a one-dimensional offense where it's like nobody's scared of their wide receivers. That's the thing. Nobody's scared of them. And they haven't done anything to address that during Lamar's whole career. I guess they drafted
Tried Odell.
Bateman. Yeah, they tried. Yeah, they tried Odell. They tried DeAndre Hopkins. I guess they drafted 2 guys in the first round, being Zay Flowers and God, what's his name? Uh, Bateman.
Bateman.
Yeah, I mean, and just both those guys have no fear in anyone's hearts. Um, I don't know. It's starting to get malpractice with this Ravens team.
But they were
And
also the best offense in football last year.
yeah,
I don't
because
think you can criticize them that much for spending their money elsewhere.
they were, and it was
What do
mainly
you want
off
them
of.
to do? I feel like spending another first-round pick on a receiver would have been a waste.
I don't know. Can they trade for somebody that's not 33 years old? Can they trade for a 30-year-old, 29-year-old?
Who?
I don't know. I'm not the GM. I don't know who's available.
Devontae Adams would have been cool.
Yes, that would have been sick.
It was a move they definitely could have made.
Hell, they could sign Brandon Cooks right now. I feel like it at least helps him a little bit. Adds a little bit of juice. You're right. You're right. You don't want to keep spending first round picks on wide receivers, and clearly they're not scouting the right guys that people want. So and there wasn't there's not a big wide receiver that's just available on the trade market. So I understand your point.
Mhm.
And it is better. It's better than what Lamar's first MVP was with Willie Snead and I don't know, was Des Bryant on that team? I don't know.
Aguilar.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Aguilar. And maybe they'll right the ship. Maybe Lamar will look healthier in the upcoming games. And as you said 2 seconds ago, where the Ravens offense was fantastic last year, and that was because Lamar was able to use his legs and help him out. So, we'll see where the rest of the season goes. There's a lot of it's funny. Some teams there's not a lot of football left to play, and some teams there's a lot of football left to play. And the Ravens are one of the teams where there's a lot of football left to play. So we will see and learn more about the Ravens.
And the Jets are not.
No, the Jets are not. There's not a lot of football left to play for the Jets. What else do we got? We got the Bears Steelers. That was a good game, surprisingly good game. After Mason Rudolph, I didn't think that this would be close. They just were able to run all over the Bears. I did mention that the Bears
They were
linebackers,
methodical.
yes, they were methodical. And the story behind the Bears has been the same story all weekend or all year, is that they're just doing what they got to do. I mean, people are going to call them frauds just because of their record. Nobody expected them to be where they
They're
are now.
frauds. They are.
Well, yeah, but I guess like nobody's saying they're going to win the Super Bowl though. They're just happy to be where they are.
I guess that's true. You're just letting them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm kind of avoiding the fraud because we'll know what they are the next two games when they face the Packers and the Eagles. We'll know exactly what they are, and if they pull
I
out,
don't know. The Eagles. I don't know if they're right now either.
So you're saying if they could beat the Eagles and you still don't know what they are because the Eagles just looked inept on offense.
It depends. I think if they had 30 on the Eagles, like I'll feel something.
That's
Sure.
true. Yeah, that is true. It is nice. Like Caleb Williams looked good and has looked good for a couple weeks now. He had that
Mhm.
weird strip sack fumble, which I guess it was his fault, but kind of a loss scenario in that situation. But yeah, their offense is getting them moving. Like they're really starting to use Colston Loveland now. They like the 3 wide receivers that they run out with. They've completely buried DeAndre Swift, which I think is the right move. And yeah, they need some health on defense. I mean, they lost linebackers playing today. They had no linebackers playing already to start the game. They've had no cornerbacks all year long. So I do want to see them when they look healthy, which will who knows if that'll ever happen. But
Mhm.
and then the Steelers are the Steelers, and I don't have anything to comment about the Steelers. I guess they ran the football well. Defense played well. TJ Watt is now leading the Watt family in sacks.
Well, I would say the defense played very well.
You got delayed. You'd say the defense played very, very well? Delayed.
Back.
Got me back?
And now first.
Oh man.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I got you.
You just
My
heard
phone
that?
stole my AirPods.
Oh, okay. Hello?
I'm good now.
Oh man, I don't know if we're good or not. I can't tell. I think we're good. Good? Thumbs up? Here. All right.
Well, I can hear you.
I just
Delayed.
heard I can hear you. It's just delayed on your end. That's all. Oh, this stinks.
Yes.
All right. All right. I think we can power through. I think we're good to go.
Okay.
Yep. I just heard. Okay. Yeah, we're good. The defense. You were saying the defense played very well, though. I would say they played very well. But besides 31 points, I mean they tried, like, I don't know, they had him in the game where they shouldn't have been in the game. Would be where I put
Steelers defense?
That's what I thought you said before we got this delay. So I don't know what you're talking about. I was just trying to agree with your
I
point.
guess.
Well, this is brutal.
No, you said their defense well, and I said, did it?
Oh, okay.
I feel like when you get 31 points hung on you,
Yeah,
you
yes.
can't really say it's played well.
I guess I said that because of the touchdown for TJ Watt. That would be why. All right. let's see if we go to the next game, maybe we'll get going. This is a I don't know. I guess the Jaguars are still alive, so it's a consequential game. But Jacoby Brissett, they're just gonna let him throw 50 times a game, which I'm here for. Let's do it. Let's let him do it. Um, they have it seems like they have a different rushing leader every week. Um, which this week was Michael Carter, even though Xavier Knight got 10 carries for 12 yards. Michael Wilson, past 2 weeks, has had 25 catches in his past 2 games, which is insane. Um, and the Jaguars did everything they could to throw away this game. 3 interceptions by Trevor Lawrence. Right at the beginning was a pick six to Walter Nolan, first round pick out of Ole Miss for the Cardinals. And I don't know. I guess the Jags are fun. They seem a little more frustrating than fun, though. Yeah, Chris had to go. We're having some technical difficulties. He'll be back in a second. But the Jags, they just seem more frustrating than fun. I mean, Travis Etienne, he's on snip snap with him. It's like, is he good? Is he not? Are we gonna use him? Are we not? Like everyone thought it was the Brashel Tootin breakout game. It was certainly not. Parker Washington's been great for them though. He's really broken out into his own. I feel like I've mentioned him every week with Parker Washington, and he's he's looking good. Chris is back. We'll see if it's fixed.
I started Parker Washington in one of my fantasy leagues, actually.
There we go. That's pretty
Nice.
sweet.
Over DJ Moore, who caught 2 touchdowns for the first time in the last 3 years.
Oh, damn. Well, I guess that didn't
We
work
got beat
out
by
for him.
50. It didn't matter. It was like a 5-point difference.
That's fair. Do you have anything on the Jaguars here? They can still win the division, by the way. I mean, they're right behind the Colts here, and they play the Colts twice, so they have to sneak out one of the wins, but it's still alive.
Yeah. When your initial point when you said you said the Jaguars are fun, I guess. They play entertaining games, but they're not. I don't think. Like, you know how bad you have to be to turn the ball over 4 times and then lose? The Cardinals they stink. They're like a bad Madden player. Like just filling up stat sheet with empty passing yards.
Yeah,
4-0 in the turnover margin, and they lose. How many times does that happen in the NFL? There has to be a number on it, like under 10.
That is a good question. I wonder how many times 4-0 has happened in a game and the other team has won. The Cardinals though, they're at a position where I said this last week. They don't want to win. They have no interest in winning. And we're delayed again. We were delayed before too, but the point was getting across, so I was just letting it happen. But
Oh yeah, I guess that's the saving grace is they don't want to.
yeah, I just had you responding right now to the Cardinals don't want to win. Yeah. So it's pretty slow. I don't know what the problem could be.
I don't know what the issue is. Well,
Oh,
I was oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I was getting I could see like your mouth moved like maybe 10, 15 seconds ago. So I know.
You want me to use? You won't hear this for like 20 seconds, but do you want me to use my hands? Just
use your
roll
hands.
this out.
I don't know. Do you want to? So Ethan asked if we want to rank the. He wants to rank the
You can
Thanksgiving
try to
games. I
understand
think that's
what
a
I'm
good
saying.
idea. And then you just want to hop on your phone real quick, and we'll end this episode after we rank them. All right. Well, we apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm not sure what the problem is. Like I never know if delays are is that a hardware thing? Is that a connection thing? Like I don't know what that is. But we will we're gonna rank the. Also, Ethan wanted to mention Joe Burrow loves coming back against the Ravens. He knew it was prime time. He knew he was coming back. He knew he was gonna ruin Ethan's Thanksgiving. So he will be back next week against the Baltimore Ravens at Baltimore, which is one of the Thursday games. I say we rank all the Thursday games and the Black Friday game, so we have a little 4-tier ranking instead of just a 3-tier ranking. All right, Chris is loading up some Discord on his phone, and we'll get a. There you go. You're good. And we'll see him we'll hear him back in a second. What's up?
Felt like a mute.
Yeah, that was weird, especially that was strange. I don't know what I know you heard me, but I don't know what the problems could be. I don't understand.
I have no idea. I don't know if it's my internet or what, but it was fine for the first hour 15. Maybe it just
Yeah.
gets tired.
It could just get tired. All right. So we have some good games. We have some good games. We have Packers,
Yeah.
Lions, Chiefs, Cowboys. Very consequential game there. Bengals, Ravens, Bears, Eagles are the 4 games we'll be ranking. I'm gonna look up the.
Just in terms of watchability, is that what we're doing?
I would say watchability. Yeah. What we're most interested in. I am gonna bring up the sports book so we can see the lines while we talk about it. Maybe give out not wise picks, but a couple picks for the Thanksgiving.
Wise
Some holiday picks.
suggestions.
Yeah, some holiday picks. All right. I think my number 1 team, and we're just doing this off the dome. Ethan suggested this in the comments before the episode. I am gonna go with Chiefs Cowboys. I think it's the most
I agree.
consequential. Yeah, both teams need the win to stay alive in the playoffs. Both one super fun offense, one offense we know can be fun, one bad defense, one defense that's been playing pretty good. So I think it's a pretty good matchup. It's at Dallas, which I think makes it more. I mean, it's always at Dallas for Thanksgiving, but it makes it more interesting. It's every game that's in Jerry World. It feels like it's more interesting than games where they're away. So
It feels like they'll score more points on the road
yes,
or at home.
yep,
And it kind of feels like the Chiefs can score more points in Dallas than they would
I agree.
if this game was in Kansas City.
I completely agree.
What's the total on this game? It has to be like 54.
52. You were close. Yeah, low.
Maybe
So
it's
is that?
over then.
Yeah, maybe that's your suggestion. Maybe that's your wise suggestion. I think the Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites because it's plus 100 for what I'm looking at right now for 3.5. So, I mean, the Chiefs need this. These are not games that the Chiefs lose, and I think that's where I would lean.
It doesn't feel like that. And it doesn't feel like the Cowboys could win 2 impressive games in a row.
Yeah, they'd
right?
be beating the 2 Super Bowl representatives back-to-back games. I mean, is that what we're seeing with this
I
Dallas
can't be,
Cowboys
yeah,
team?
they can't be right.
I completely agree. So I think Kansas City. It's almost a square pick, but I think Kansas City minus 2.5
It
is
is,
the way to go.
especially if you threw the over in there too.
Yeah, I would be
Very
more
square.
comfortable with the 2.5 than I would with the over, just because this
I
is a
think so
game that
too.
everyone's going to be excited for. I mean, we just picked
Yeah.
it as our number 1 interesting game on Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving weekend, and it is going to be. It's not going to be as fireworky as we want it to be. But you never know. It
Yeah.
could be. It could very well be. But it seems like if they're gonna have a dud of a game, there is. I mean, actually, there's other candidates for duds of the game, but it could be a close game, a 2.5-point game, if you will, and be much less than 52.5.
Yes, definitely. One last thing about this game, when I think of the Chiefs on that field, I just think of that Tyreek Hill play when they
Yeah,
played
oh yeah,
the last time there.
yep,
It's like end of the first half,
yeah,
and they
and he
had
just
no
runs
business
all the way down the
scoring.
field. Yeah,
Dallas
yeah,
was just sitting back and prevent defense and get the
yeah. He
ball to him
runs
at like
through
the 30-yard
everybody.
line. He runs in for a touchdown. Yeah.
I think those types of plays, especially like those types of plays, could happen against the Chiefs with this Cowboys offense. Like we could have some
Mhm.
crazy catch by Pickens, some crazy run
Turpin,
by
dude.
uh Turpin. Yeah, Turpin return. on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
He jumps in the Salvation Army bin. I mean, that's just the writing's on the wall. So yeah, that is my most interesting game. And I think I'm just gonna keep going, and you tell me when you disagree. I think we're gonna have the same one though. I think it's got to be Eagles Bears, the Friday game.
I think Lions Packers is 2.
Okay, tell me
I
your
in terms
argument
of
for
like
why.
I like in how interesting the game's going to be to watch. Like the Eagles Bears, I think
You think it's just gonna be actually now that you said it,
I
like you
think
just said Eagles
it's
Bears.
mysterious.
He said
Like
Eagles Bears out loud, and I was like,
I don't
oh,
really
my
know what
eyes
to
might bleed.
expect. And the Eagles are 7-point favorites, which seems odd to me. I don't really know what to expect either. Like now, the Eagles have now thrown me off their scent,
Mhm.
um, and I do think that the Bears are frauds. But again, I don't know what the Eagles are. So it's definitely up there in terms of like I'm very curious.
Yeah,
I don't know if it'll be an awesome game to consume. Whereas I think Lions Packers, like just the star power on the field, will be enough to make that a good game. And it's like you're battling for the North too.
yeah,
So but the Bears in first place.
yeah. The Bears are in first place.
They gotta be, yeah. That's wild.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw out Detroit -2.5. I want no business with the betting the Packers. I just want no business in a game where it's like you're not facing 9. I want no business with the Packers.
I have
Um,
a Lions theory.
what?
I think the Commanders were their Super Bowl.
The Packers week 2?
No, the Lions.
Oh, okay.
They
Um,
beat the piss out of the Commanders to get revenge for the playoff game, and they've looked like poop ever since.
so would you say they look like poop against the Giants?
No, but they went to overtime against the Giants.
Yes, which makes the game
But I
a
guess you
little
can make that
a little
argument with the
stinky.
Broncos too. Like that game came down to the wire, and you can do that for a couple teams.
I guess maybe the Giants are a little friskier than we thought. Um,
I mean, you said the stat that they've lost 5
yes,
games.
5.
They're up by
They're
2.
up to yeah.
They're beating teams, just not for
Yes,
60 minutes.
that's true. If it was, there was a tweet I saw. It was like if it was 3 quarters in the NFL, the Giants would be like number 2 in the NFC or something. Um, the over's 50. All of these overs are high besides the Bears Eagles. So
That's
maybe
really high. Yeah,
yeah,
Thanksgiving unders, maybe?
yeah. I don't mind the Thanksgiving unders. The dude, this Packers team, like against a good team, it just scares me. And maybe the Lions
I know.
defense isn't that good. Like they've gotten shredded multiple times this year,
They've been banged up too, but I thought
and
they were
they've been
getting
banged up.
healthier.
Yes, they are getting healthier. They had the suspension on the Chiefs game, which was like the really like red herring that everyone was freaking out about their defense.
Mhm.
And they had Brian Burns, or not Brian Burns, Brian Branch, sorry,
Branch.
suspended. So I don't know. I hate this Packers team.
I do.
There's there has to be some fire under this Lions team even going to overtime against the Giants. Um, mm,
They lost to
oh,
the Vikings though. Like I thought that was what would give them fire.
it's true. And then they
Or no,
immediately
wait,
followed up.
that was before the Commanders game. Who'd they lose to the
He lost to
previous
the
week?
Eagles. They
Right.
lost to the
Right.
Eagles. Yeah, they
Yeah.
scored 9 points. But that was
That's,
outside. Like they're at home. It's Thanksgiving.
yeah.
Um, mm, I mean, both teams need this, especially if
It's
both
a big
teams
game.
want to win the division. They both need it. Yeah, I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna come to your side, and that'll be the number 2 game because both teams desperately need. Like the Eagles and Bears both want it, but they both don't need it. The Eagles don't
Yeah.
need this game
The Eagles need it for like their mental state.
for
But in
sanity.
terms of numbers, they don't need it.
Yes. Yeah, but for numbers wise, like especially the Lions really need this game. So
Yeah.
I'm going Lions -2.5 though. I'm not wavering on that.
Okay.
That is going to be my pick.
I'm not gonna take that, but
That's
I
okay.
don't hate it.
So I'm square right now. You can call me SpongeBob. I'm Chiefs -2.5 and Lions -2.5. Part of me wants to follow that up with the Bengals +7.5.
Is Joe playing? Is that official?
He
Or is that
posted on
just Eden's
Instagram
prediction?
the picture of him in the mirror with the LeBron James jersey, and it says he's back. And it's like young Joe Burrow in like high school or maybe freshman year of college.
I see.
Yes. So he.
So yes.
So yes, he's back. They are, as we talked about earlier, they are almost statistically out of the playoffs. They could go 9-8 if they win out, but they have the Ravens twice. They have the Bills. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see Joe Burrow. I'm excited to see Joe
Yep.
Burrow.
Me too.
Jamar Chase should be in the game as well. And this is our fourth pick, by the way, right? Or are you
Yep.
saying this is the third? Yeah,
Agreed.
this is our fourth pick.
It'll be that's the thing. It's like it'll be fun to see Joe Burrow, but at the
I
same
just have no
time,
faith.
I don't think this game matters that much.
No, it doesn't, and it is. I just don't have a lot of faith in their defense has been playing better. Their defense has been playing
Yep.
better the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. No, 2 weeks. They still let up 34 against the Steelers and 26 against the Pats, which they had. I guess just last week, just this week they've looked better. But like this team gave up 39 to the Jets, 47 to the Bears. What is Lamar Jackson off a couple game slump gonna do to this team?
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving. The hope is that Joe Burrow keeps it close, and they keep it within a score, I guess. And you look good. You're excited for next year. Joe Burrow doesn't get hurt. None
Yeah.
of the wide receivers get hurt. I mean, is Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart going to play? I know Shamar Stewart hasn't done anything this season, but they got those guys for these Ravens games, like to try to get to the quarterback, and that's what you have to do against Lamar Jackson. What do we like about the 7.5 is the line, and then 51.5 is the over under?
I don't like any of the overs. I don't hate the
No,
spread, I guess. The
I don't
plus
like
money.
the over either. But I don't like the over, but could this not be like a 42-20 game?
It could be. I just think I don't know. I'm gonna get my hopes up with how clunky the Ravens have looked.
That's I think would be the thing where it's like I'm not trustworthy on the Ravens doing that. I could see them winning by 2 scores, but I can't see it going over 51.
No, yeah.
All right. I guess I mean we don't have to take a pick. Maybe some Jamar Chase. Let's see what his line
There you
is.
go.
Yeah, let's see what Jamar Chase's line is. Because after a game where that's 89.5. Give me you know what, screw it. I'll take it. Give me that. Maybe some Gesicki, 33.5. I don't know. There's stuff to work with here with Joe Burrow back. No T. Higgins will suck though, because he has a concussion. And then yeah, we didn't talk about the over-unders or the spread for the Bears-Eagles game, but that is 6.5 for the Bears, and it's over 44.5 for the over-under. I hate that over too. I don't like it at all.
I thought the 6.5 was weird, but I don't like. I'm not taking it. Either way, I
No,
don't
I can't
think.
put faith. Yeah, I can't put faith in the Bears.
Hmm.
This is bad little picks. This is why it's not wise picks because we have to force ourselves to make some picks here. But this is a
Yeah.
I
It's
don't.
Thanksgiving. You're with family. You don't need to gamble.
Hey, wise suggestion. Caleb Williams 2 passing touchdowns plus 185. That's a good line. That's a good line if I've ever seen one.
That's a good line.
Yeah, those are good odds. So I'm a fan of that. So, to recap our rankings, we have Chiefs, Cowboys, we have Packers, Lions, then we have Bears, Eagles on Friday, and then Cincinnati, Baltimore, because we don't have a lot of faith in Cincy. So
Yep.
those are our Thanksgiving rankings. And as you mentioned, we do it every year. We're not going to do a top 5, but best Thanksgiving food is still stuffing.
Yep.
Here we go. 1-1.
It is.
It's the only list.
You never have it other than Thanksgiving.
Yep.
I think we say this too. Like, should be more common food. Should just be for Thanksgiving.
You do have it. I mean, like I've had it a couple times with like pork. You have it. It's like in pork. You cut
Yeah,
it open. It's in
Italian
there.
sausage with stuffing, so good.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had that.
Yeah,
That sounds fantastic. But
yeah,
yeah,
it is.
it's a treat every time you get it. You're like, wow. Like, what
Yeah,
is it? Thanksgiving? We have stuffing. Like
yeah,
that's
just like moist bread.
yes. And there's so many ways to do it. There's so many good ways to do it. So yeah, stuffing's the best. I don't know if we have to get too many Thanksgiving details, but I'm excited. I always love Thanksgiving. I always hate and I probably say this every year too, but I always hate the Christmasification of Thanksgiving.
Yes, where it's
Like,
already Christmas season.
yeah, it's like let Thanksgiving breathe a little bit. Like it's a holiday too.
I agree. I agree.
But, people get excited, and who are we to judge about their excitement for Christmas? Well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and we will see everyone next week. Well, you'll see us on Instagram, you'll see us on TikTok. Make sure you follow us. But also, now I'm thinking about it, while we're a little like thing that I'm looking at right now, I need to have the TikTok
What?
thing on there. Like I have Twitter and I have Instagram. I need to have
Oh,
TikTok
our
on there.
logos.
Yeah, I need to add
Yeah.
TikTok. Um, so yeah, go follow us on everything, and you'll see us the rest of the week for clips and wise picks on Saturday. All right. Thank
Yes.
you all for listening.